If your heart break, don't let your dreams break, cause this could always go down in the wrong way. And you know working 9 to 5's been a long day.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, and yourself?
I'm still getting used to all this Instagram live stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, I'm getting used to it. Like, this is like still pretty new for me. I just started like really getting into like Instagram live and stuff like that.
Yes, I understand. It was new for me too. Like I had a hard time the first time, and it was so funny because I was sitting here, right, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like it was weird.
Yeah, yeah, like that. Cause I actually like run a podcast and I just started interviewing artists too myself. So like, it's like my first time interviewing somebody last week. I was sitting there kind of like the same way. Like, how do I request somebody to get on my actual Instagram live? Like, so that's funny. That's funny that just happened. But how are you today? It's nice to meet you.
Yes, I'm doing really good. It's nice to virtually meet you. How are you handling this quarantine? Are you being creative still?
Yeah, like man, quarantine has like really like before quarantine, I can say I was working before, but like once quarantine started, like I feel like my grind like really went to like a whole nother level. Like and like like something I be telling people about a lot. Like a lot of people don't feel comfortable like spending time with themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't really feel comfortable, getting to know who they are, what they're good at, and what they can do, and creative time where they're alone, where they can actually like figure out some stuff to put together, whether it's putting a plan together for whatever you're doing, or whether it's putting some type of action moving forward. So like this whole quarantine, I've been like fully go. Like this is like the most busiest I've ever been, like as far as like my whole career wise.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you're using the time wisely and to do
Yes.
everything that you normally don't like just think about, you know?
Yeah, like I've been like now I run a studio, so maybe like 5 out of 7 days a week I'm booked up. Like, and I'm booked up helping other artists while I'm still running the company and working on my own music at the same time. So like it's crazy.
That's really dope. So with the studio, right? Because at first, before you came in, I was talking about Psychotic Productions. I was like, wow, that's really dope that you have like a production company.
Mhm.
So what led you to create a production company? And I love the spelling, by the way. Super
Thank
dope.
you. Well, actually, so me and my boy, like we came up. Me and I got a business partner. His name is DJ Crazy. He's like one of the biggest DJs like on the East Coast. He started out probably like maybe 7 years ago. We started when he first really got his big break. He was DJing for P&B Rock. Like he was P&B Rock's first DJ, and we kind of got like P&B Rock like when he first like got popping, like right when he first got out of jail. And we did a bunch of school tours with him and stuff like that. And we had came up with like an idea years ago. It was called like it was just called Chaotic. It was just called Chaotic Entertainment, and my boy had came up with this idea, to get an entertainment company together where we would be able to like provide services for people that, whether it was sound, lighting, anything like that. We would just be able to provide it for them, the artists, so that this way the artists would have the chance to just be an artist. You know what I mean? Like so that this way whoever needed our service, they would just have the opportunity to do that. So, years ago, that idea, we created that, and it kind of like fell off a little because people were getting older, and we kind of like had a lot of kids, but it was okay because, like, since it was our first time doing something like that, we were able to really figure out how to like go back in and make the structure again and really do it the right way this time. You know what I'm saying? So like now we have a structure where we went back in, we got two producers, and my boy just came back to me. He was like, okay, well, instead of having it how we did before, which is chaotic, let's do say psychotics, where now we focus more on the production side of music. We get we was helping a lot of people get to stuff before, but we wasn't actually a part of it. Now what we're doing now is like we said, okay, we're going to actually be a part of it. Now we're taking artists and putting them part of our company. We building relationships with artists one-on-one, whether they're coming to me and our studio and working with me, or we got to drive out there to New York, wherever it is. Like we do it, we do it. And really the production side of it, like it's just being inspired, like being inspired, like by other people, seeing other people, get to like I've watched a lot of people blow up. Like I've watched a lot of people become famous in my face. Like and it's I don't get discouraged. Like I don't get discouraged. I feel like when I see people get what they want, like that just lets me know like that I gotta keep doing exactly what I'm supposed to do to get what I want too. Like a lot of people try to compare themselves to other people, and like when you start comparing yourself to people, that can like really steal your joy, steal your happiness. And like something I'm about is really I want to give back. I want to give to the people. I want to create. I want to be a creator. I want to be able to put people in a position to do the things that I feel like I wasn't in position to do. Like we all have to find a way to create. We all have to find a way to keep giving back and bringing something to people. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. And one of the biggest things that I took from what you said too was talking about the fact that you have to focus on you. And it's actually, I look at it as a really good thing because I've seen a lot of people blow up too. And I'm like, that means like you're in the right company. Like something in the
Right.
aura, something around wherever you are is like a go, like a really, really good
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really dope. And I always look at it like you could pick up from so many like tips and experiences and like you had your own with chaotic and then you were like, well, we could do this better. So that's like super awesome. And it sounds
No.
like you're
Shout out
still
to my boy DJ Crazy. That's my business partner. He in the
oh,
comments.
that's him right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we both run psychotic. Like we both run psychotics. Yeah, like and like this year has really been kicking up. Like right now, like some of our bigger records. We working with this kid. He's from New York. His name is Curly Hair Jaden. Um, he's like probably like young kid, but he just did a record. We just went out there. I wrote the song for him. We produced the beat, so that's about to drop. He's from New York. He's looking to take off with that joint, like so that's a record to really be on the lookout for. Psychotics is like doing big things this year. Like that this is a time right now. We got two artists like really under our belt. We got two dope female artists from Philly, 100 Proof Yanni and China. Like we really take time. Like even though I'm an artist myself, like I take pride in sitting down with artists, sitting down with other artists. Like I take pride in being able to help people whenever I can, being able to like try to give back to people. The thing is, like so many people feel like you can't help somebody else get to the next place, or like so many people feel like you can't help somebody else take that step, or like show them some direction. You could always try to help. You can't pull nobody, but you could always try to show people how to, what I mean, get to where they're trying to go. And that's really our whole thing now. We are all about trying to be the navigation for everybody. We are the navigation. That's how I look at it. And I'm really happy with like all the things that we've been doing this year.
Wow, congratulations on your two artists. And I love the fact that you work with female artists. That's like part of my questions.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this Demon Time. The only thing I know about Demon Time in the comments is like
Oh yeah,
Tory
yeah, yeah.
Lanez.
Demon Time. We just we just interviewed JB last week. I just interviewed JB last week. He just produced Demons for Drake, so that was dope. Like I talked to him, that just went on Billboard. So yeah, like JB came through. He did an interview with me from my podcast. I'm sure we'll talk about that, but he came through and did an interview with me for my podcast, and he just did a record with Drake. I wanted to find out about that. Demons, that joint was dope. So, and that was another thing, like that was something that was big for Psychotics too, because being as though like Psychotics is a production company, like, with us starting to branch out and do interviews and stuff like that now, we really wanted to show a different structure. So for my first interview that I did, I didn't want to interview an artist. I wanted to interview a big producer. So I said, how could it get better than not interviewing a guy that just did a song with what I mean? Drake and Fabio, and my camp is already connected with them guys anyway. Like, my guy Damon Campbell, he already, he reached out. He works closely with a lot of them guys in New York, and he's pretty much like I got a shout out to him too, because Damon's been working extremely hard for me. Like he's been doing everything that he kept his word for him, man. We just been going full speed ahead ever since we started working.
Wow, that's huge. Yes, I love Damon. Definitely, he helps me so much too. He's the best. Shout out to DJ Crazy for the love and Ty Cole for the love. I'm trying to get better with reading the comments while we do the interview because I used to like just not even see them. So, but that's so huge. Like, congratulations for getting such a huge producer at that and taking a different angle because a lot of people don't realize the producer is like really what makes the song. Like, the artist
Right.
is great, but like without a producer, what are you going to have?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Now, speaking of, you were like, oh, Damon, he's in New York, or you'll come to New York, you'll go to the artists, you're really there for seeing them grow and stuff like that. Are you still in North Philly? Because I know you were raised in Philly.
So I was raised like in Philly, and I probably moved to Jersey when I was about maybe 9 or 10 for the better, like because I was a real bad kid. So like I had to. It was just best that I got out of Jersey, but I mean out of Philly. But yeah, like I was raised in Philly. Like I grew up and I lived at my mom's house. I mean my grandma's house till I was about 7. Then my mom got a house, and she just wanted better for me. So we got to Jersey, and like honestly, my mom is one of my like she inspires me every day because like she was a single mother. She had to work 3 jobs just to take care of me to get me out of Philly. Like she did a lot, you know what I mean? So I just feel like I gotta go just as hard as her to be able to give back, to and to show like that I can do the same things that she was able to do, as far as just being successful in life.
That's amazing. When did you decide that you were going to start making songs? Did you first pick up the pen
Um,
in Philly or Jersey?
No, I first decided to start making music in Jersey. I actually when I first like I started making music when I got out of high school, and like when I was in high school I was really into like sports. Like I was a football player. Like I was really into sports, and then I ended up tearing my knees up, messed my legs
Mm.
up. So I had to take a break from that. And then like I linked up with my boy DJ Crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like my boy DJ Crazy, me and him just started doing like we want to start going to a lot of events, and I was like in a lot of the entertainment scene and stuff like that. And then like over time I just started, excuse me, over time I just like started really just honing in on what I wanted to do like for myself. You know what I mean? Like, and I started noticing like it's even crazy because like making music so many years ago, like I it's like out of all the songs that's out now, like even on my SoundCloud, like I'm very, very particular like what I put out now. And like I really haven't really released too much music now, but like a lot of my music that's out now, it is not really like what I got coming up. Like
Mm.
it's not like really, and it's still like very, very positive and like fun, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you could tell like I'm very way past that. Like you know what I mean. Like and I've been working hard. Like I'm up every day. I'm up every day working hard, trying to like get better. I probably make, if not a song a day, 2 songs every other day. Like so, I'm in here recording.
Wow.
I'm recording songs every single day. I probably got about 5 projects done. So like I wanted to make sure I had over 100 songs. Like probably a couple years ago, I asked myself, like when I wasn't first dropping my music, I started asking myself like why I wasn't dropping my music. But as I thought about it more and more, like everything is for a reason. Like every time I make a song, I get better, and I just feel like everything is time, like happens in time order. It's not, I don't have to rush anything that's for me, because at the end of the day, like can't nobody take my talent away from me. You know what I mean? Like can't nobody stop my grind. All that stuff is in me. I'm gonna wake up with that every day. So it's just about me just being the person that I know I could be, honestly. And that's really what's got me started into making music. Just being inspired by being around a lot of people, seeing the music scene, seeing so much music stuff, and then just me wanting to do it myself and actually realizing I'm actually good at this stuff. Like actually, once I actually like made myself a part of this culture, the music culture, I realized how valuable I really was like to this culture.
Wow, that's really dope. And I love how you take the time out to look at everything from like a bigger viewpoint. I feel like you're at the ultimate peace. So I feel like success is just going to come for you in such a peaceful manner. You're not going to be
Mm-hmm.
stressed out. So that's super dope.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized this when I was on your website and I was doing the research. You don't care about being like the biggest artist in New York or Jersey or anywhere like that, right? You
No.
want to be known across the world. So when did this happen for you? Because I very rarely hear that. Like people want to be superstars, but not many people say like, no, I want to go all around the world.
Yeah, like really just what makes me really not want to just be the biggest artist in Jersey is because I just feel like people put limitations on themselves. Like that's just the bottom line. Like like I feel like I could do whatever I want to do. Like and I traveling the world, just being able to experience those kind of things. Like that's one thing I want to do. But honestly, like I feel like I could make any kind of music, do anything I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't let nobody make me feel like I can't, like something that's too big for me, if that makes sense. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like there was a time where I could have felt like something was too big for me, but now I don't feel like that. Like I don't feel like that at all. Like I feel like whatever I want to do, whatever I say I'm gonna do it. Like and I do it with confidence now. Like that's really how I am.
Wow, that's amazing. And you know what? I could see that and hear that in your music. Like I was listening to Changing Me.
Mhm.
And yeah, you rap about the pain, you rap about being fully motivated. So I wanted to know from you, how do you stay motivated even with like the things that happen in life? Like there's a little bit of negativity that always surfaces for every human being.
Uh, how I stay motivated, man. Honestly, to stay motivated, I just gotta keep going. Like it's I say it all the time. Like, I think about it all the time. Like how do I stay motivated? Like sometimes I surprise myself. Like I wake up and I'm just like, like how am I still going? Like how do I, like why am I? You know what I'm saying? Why am I? Even some days I wake up, I could be a little discouraged sometimes that I don't feel like I'm where I'm at. But then it's like, what I'm saying? I'll look at other people that got what they want and I'll start remembering like, that stuff just don't come overnight. Like the things that I want, at some point in time, I had to allow myself to understand that what I want is very big. So if I want that, I can't be discouraged that it don't just come right to me. I got to keep doing the things that I have to do in order to achieve those things. And that's just where I've came to, understanding where it's just like now that's just what I'm working towards. I'm just working towards being, I understand that it takes small steps to get where you want to go. You know what I mean? Like it really does. It takes small steps to get where you want to go, and you can't have progress without the process. I say that.
Mm.
I say that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have progress. If you want to progress, you got to have a process that you go through in order to become what you want to be. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm in the process of becoming who I'm going to be in order to reach the progress that I'm looking for.
Wow, I love that. That's like a really, really, really dope quote. Um, I know you probably don't make clothes or anything like that right now, but like that quote would be so fire. Like on merchandise. I'm like, what? That's fire.
Yeah.
So how did you end up collaborating with Von Sims?
Oh, Vaughn, that's my boy. So like me and Vaughn, actually we used to live together. Like that's my bro. We both from Sicklerville, New Jersey. Shout out to Vaughn. Yeah, like me and him when I first moved out of my mom's house, like me and him got a house together, and that was my first house I ever got. I got my first house when I was 19.
Oh,
Me and him was living together. We lived at a house for about 2 or 3 years. Um, and then it just ended up, lease ran out, different situations. We had to move, but that's my boy. Like we really tight. He's on my track with me. We got hella dope records. Like me and Vaughn got a lot of songs, like a lot of songs. So we probably gonna we probably gonna put a project together eventually. Like something's gonna drop for sure.
yeah, that would be dope. I was actually gonna ask you that, like the way Bow Wow did back in the day, and
Hmm.
yeah, like Omarion, I think it was. It was so long
Yeah.
ago, but yeah, that'll be dope. Another song that really stood out to me was like Mamba Mentality. Like, okay, well,
Hmm.
first of all, I think Kobe Bryant's death was like the intro to the tragedy of 2020. Basically, I don't think
Yeah.
anybody thought it could get worse than that. And you had this line, "Don't wait till too late, just love me while I'm here."
Right.
And that really stood out to me. I love the line. So I wanted to ask you, did Kobe Bryant's death inspire these lyrics because you saw like an outpour of love that you feel like he wasn't getting, or was it something else?
Absolutely, absolutely, it did. Like, Kobe Bryant. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Kobe Bryant, his death, and not that I'm not just because of like being like a basketball fan, because it's not like really like about a basketball thing. It's more about just you know somebody that stood for what he stood for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
just him being our culture and working so hard for what he wanted, and to see that snatch from him. You know what I'm saying? Like that was hard. The really just to just grasp it. You know what I mean? Like it was so hard to grasp it. And I feel like people just don't appreciate, like people that really care about bettering us, like bettering the black people, bettering our this society, period. Like he had Mamba Academy, everything going on. Everything was to give back. Like everything was to give back. He found peace at the in the second half of his life to the point where he wanted to be able to, you know, set stuff up for the next generation and keep giving back and setting his kids up. And I felt like a part of me just, if I can do anything, like I feel like I gotta be. We're all. I mean, I feel like everybody's kind of responsible, in a sense to to keep working as hard and having that mama mentality. But like when that happened though, like that really woke my eyes up. There's just so many bad things happening, like as far as people dying and shit and like stuff like that, that's catching my attention to just understand that you can't play with life. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't play with life. This is serious. Like, you know, this is serious. And, you know, if you want to be something, you gotta want to be the best. Like, and that's how, and like Kobe inspired me. I took that from him. Like, you know, after he died, you know, sadly, I'm sad that he had to die for me to really, really fully feel that way. But like when after he passed away, man, like I feel like I gotta be the best at everything. Like I do. I feel like I can't let nobody outwork me. Like I can't. I be up till 6 o'clock in the morning every day, like working in my studio, and like, you know, I don't care. I just do it.
Wow. So, like, in terms of, because I know you said you had 5 projects that
Mm-hmm.
basically coming along. You already came up with the titles and the themes already?
I got the titles to two of. I had a title to two of them, but it's the one I got now. Like so, like my main project, like, you know, that I'm getting ready to do, because like I had a couple projects that I was working on, just being as though like, I was trying to do something different, where I just was trying to figure out how I wanted to put my project together, and at first, like I really wanted to put together a project where, you know, like people, I wanted to be recognized for songwriting, like. You know, I wanted to be recognized. I wanted people to see that I can kind of like write songs for artists too, like, you know, not just songs for me. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I'm cool being a artist. You know, like I'm very comfortable being an artist and being, you know, going out and doing performances and stuff like that. But I also want to be a part of everything. Like I want to be an artist. I want to write songs for people. I want to, you know, be behind the scenes with everything. I just want to be able to do it all. Like, you know, so I want to be able to have people see like, yo, this is a dude where not only I can maybe collab with him and, you know, do a song with him, but he may be able to come, you know, I can ask him to come out and work with me on a song and for my album one day or something like that. Or maybe I may need a beat for my project and I need him to come out and, you know, bring 3 beats and sit down with me. And, you know, like something about that Psychotics, like as a production company, like one thing that we take pride in, like, you know, as far as like, you know, like artists, a lot of things that artists do, like they like to, you know, ask for people to send them beats and stuff like that. Like we don't send no beats. We don't send no beats over the internet or nothing like that. Like our whole business structure is like, you know, any artist that we work with, like I said, if they're not coming to personally work with us, like in my studio, we have 2 studios. So I have a studio in Jersey and I have a studio in Philly. If they're not coming to work with us in one of our studios, like out here, we got to come to you, like, you know, and we will come. Like if it's worth it and it's serious, like we will come to you. You know, like that's what I'm. So we went to Washington, we went to Texas, we went to New York. So we go like work with talent. We find talent. So it's not like, you know, if it's worth it, if it's serious, we will do it. So you know what I mean? Like that's what we're all about.
That's super dope. So I'm curious to know, everybody always asks about top 5. So who are you inspired by?
I feel like a lot of my music, I'm inspired by I got a couple artists I really like, but I think my top ones is definitely Drake. Drake is one of my favorite artists like in the world. Like just because just how versatile he is, like, and just because like his music always can touch you emotionally. You can ride around to it. You can always, you know what I'm saying, you can do whatever you want. You could do this. Drake just has a really unique sound, so I respect Drake. I respect Meek. You know, it's crazy because them two were, you know, bad beefing, but like
Yeah.
I take a lot, like I listen to a lot that they say because I just, you know, Meek being close from here to Philly, and then it's like Meek can make me remember like where I came from, as far as like coming from Philly and growing up and making it out of the hood and all of that. Like Meek make me feel that, and then Drake make me, you know, feel like who cares? Like just do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like at the same time, but
Facts.
Drake gave me the feeling of like, but no, I'm gonna just love my life, like, and I'm gonna just enjoy me or do whatever I want to do. So like, it's like I'm not really no like super street dude, so I can't like super relate. You know what I'm saying? All the way to me, but that's still like I can still play with it a little bit, like, and be like, okay, that's kind of like I like that, like that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I could still listen to that, and I like Uzi, my man. Like I've been listening to Uzi before he was famous. Like I've been listening to Uzi since he probably had about 1,000 followers on Twitter. Like,
No way.
yeah, like so I was a Uzi fan before Uzi became famous. Like I've been listening to him. I really like, and then Jay-Z, like,
Mm.
Jay-Z, um,
Jay got to be in there. That's a fact.
Jay-Z is in there, and as far as like, I'm trying to think of somebody else that I really take from, like, I wasn't the type of listen too much music, but the type of person I am, like, I take from a lot of people. Like, I want to say like listening all the way to their music, but I listen to what people say. As far as
Right.
like, I watch interviews with people. I like to know how people become successful. Like I want to know, what did you do to get here? I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, he did that. Well, I'm not about to do that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, there's a formula to this. Let me take 5 formulas, see the similarities in the formula, and put my own formula together to make it work for me. Like, that's how I am. We're not about to reinvent the wheel too much here. Like, you just gotta do the same thing that everybody else been doing. Stay consistent, stay working, you know what I'm saying? Keep understanding what you're working for, and not lose yourself, and go after what you want. That's it. And eventually it will come. As long as you understand that it'll come eventually, you'll be okay.
That's dope. And you're very positive. Like, I feel like motivational speaking is somewhere in your future, but I'm not sure. It's not like really, you're very motivating, which is good for the artists that you work with, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because you do have a line that relates exactly to everything you just said. And this is from the song Answers. Really, really dope, by the way. So the line is putting pieces together like puzzles out of the mud with my brothers through puddles. Puzzles, puddles. I was like, what? That's amazing. I've never heard a line like that. I'm sorry, like, it don't sound as good when I say it, but I gotta say it so you know the line I'm referencing.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yes, that was one of my favorite tracks, and I wanted to know, like, what specific situation led you to create this song?
Um, Honestly, that song right there, when I made that song, it was like just in the time where it was just like I was just really thinking, and like I really, when I make music, I really do make music with the thought of like, how can I relate to people? So sometimes the music may relate to me too, but at the same time, like, I want to be able to say something that I know people could feel. You know what I'm saying? So I was going through tough times myself, where I've lived on my own. I've always had to just grind. You know what I mean? Like, I've always had to. I've never had a chance to chill. Like, like, I don't get a chance to chill. Like, if I chill, I'll be on the streets. So I can't chill. Like, you know what I mean? I got to keep grinding so that I can have everything I want. Because other people don't understand. If you say you want something, but you don't work for the things that allows you to have those things, you're never going to get them. And if you get lucky and get it, you're going to lose it. So, like, we're working for sustainability. We're working for stuff that's going to be here for, a long time, not just here for, a quick second and going.
Right. And I love the fact you said that because a lot of people do get it fast, but you don't really know how they got it. So
Hmm.
that's a valid point. And then you worked with Jasmine Amara. I hope
Yeah,
I'm saying it right.
she's from Baltimore. She dope.
Yeah. So, like, how did you guys end up meeting?
So yeah, like, she actually another artist that I linked up with. We actually met in a club situation. My boy Crazy, he linked up with her, and then she came through, and she wanted to do a studio session. So I did a session with her the night after she came down from Baltimore to like the club or whatever. And I think I recorded a track with her, and I was just like, "Yo, you tough? Like, we should hop on the track." So we ended up doing like 2 songs that night, and I ended up liking that one so much that I ended up putting it on my SoundCloud.
No, that's dope. Yeah, I really love that. And you also collaborated with her with okay, I know I don't understand her name. Nai Guwap?
Nah, yeah, nah. Yeah, it was actually
Oh,
pretty good. Yep.
yeah, that's fire. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. So the name of the song was Dedication. What I found really interesting about that is you took a different approach, right? Like, you didn't do a verse.
Yeah, I did.
So,
You
yeah, I'm
noticed that?
curious to know that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
I did
see,
that on purpose.
I peeped that. I was like, this is that producer type stuff right here. So, yeah,
Yes.
tell me about that idea.
Yeah, like, so I actually, when I dropped like no when I dropped Dedication, I dropped that with the intent. Like, I was just like, yo, these are 2 dope female. And that's kind of like when I first dropped that song, that was like when I first kind of was like really getting into the idea of, like, taking the whole psychotic production thing serious, because like psychotic productions and stuff like all this stuff wasn't that serious. Like back when I was doing like dedication and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't wait to drop new music because the music that's on my SoundCloud. Like maybe I'll let you hear like maybe 1 or 2 songs before we get off live, so you can hear like some of my songs from my project that's coming up. But like it's no song on my SoundCloud like maybe except for Mama Mentality that's not over a year old. Like all them songs are old, and like the songs that I got right now are gonna be way more fun and vibrant like than them Jones. Like I really can't wait. Like because I've been making so many projects, and it's like every time I think I got a project that I like, I end up making a better project, and I can't drop the project that I just made because I know like I just don't. I'm like nah, this is it. Like so now I got to go back and make sure this is as hot. So this time I'm really happy with the project that I just did. I really am. So the project that I'm doing, like that I just did, I'm focused to do videos now. Like, you know, before I was just like, okay, these songs is all right, these songs is hot, but I need some more hot songs. Now I feel like all my songs is hot. So I'm like, all right, yeah, like, you know, I'm just ready to shoot the videos and get it popping now. Like,
Yes, that's so dope. So, you know, we got to get into the video concepts too. Shout out to my best friend in the live, Driven by Emotion. Shout out to Frankie. So, you know, it's weird, right? Because quarantine is like a tough time. Music videos is difficult. Before we get off of dedication, though, I really got to ask you, all right. We already know you didn't do a verse, very creative, but I have to ask you, what are 3 things you're really dedicated to? Because that's what I thought I might hear, and I didn't. So I'm like, wait, I gotta ask you on the live before we get into anything else.
um, I'm the things I'm dedicated to. I'm dedicated to my craft. I'm very dedicated to the type of person that I am, as far as trying to make sure, you know, that I always have a high integrity. Like, you know, I'm dedicated to trying to be my best version of myself every day. Like that's the things that I'm dedicated to. Like, you know, like I used to have fun doing a bunch of other stuff, but all that stuff I don't have fun doing none of that other stuff no more. And like I don't have fun going out just partying or, you know, going out just linking up unless it's really about some business. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I can't. That's how I feel. Like now I'm dedicated towards seeing the future that I see for myself and the people that surround me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm
Right.
dedicated towards being the life changer that I feel like I could be eventually at some point in time in my life. So that's the things that I'm dedicated towards. Like I'm dedicated towards. I'm a hard worker. Like I believe in hard work. Like I believe in working like hard. So, you know, like other people they don't believe in that stuff. You know what I mean? So they don't really understand it. But like I'm dedicated towards work. Like that's what I'm dedicated towards. Like I believe you gotta stay dedicated towards work because I ain't where I want to be at. So I gotta stay dedicated to this. Like,
That's a fact. I love
yeah.
that. So, I mean, this is the thing, right? So, with the music videos, it's very tough. I know you're excited to shoot some and get them out. Are you planning on doing any during quarantine, like maybe doing some digital type visuals?
Yeah, like I'm hoping. I plan on. I'm trying to shoot a video, maybe hopefully within the next month, like maybe this next month coming up. I'm hoping. So you know, I want to shoot a video real soon.
Nice. Okay, that's fire. So, I want to know if you could describe your musical vibe for your new music, because I know we can look at Mamba mentality, but in your words.
My new music, the vibe is so it's the way I feel about my new music is like it's very fun. Um, it's play. It still has a message. You know, some songs are just fun. You know, some of
Okay.
them are just fun songs, but most of them are like, you know, you can still hear through the song that I'm actually am saying something though at the end of the song, like, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like what I want most of my songs to do. I want some of my songs. I want my songs to be able to give you the feeling where it's like, okay, he can have fun with this, but he actually having fun with this and still saying something. Like he's still
That's
playing with the
dope.
music. You know what I mean? Like, and over time, I feel like is, you know, just still getting better. My word playing, my just lyrics and everything is just, you know, eventually just get better and better. Like, you know,
Nice. So, what made you decide to start the podcast?
my podcast. So actually, the podcast idea, this is actually my guy Jay Pino. You know, shout out to him. You know, he came to me one day. He started the brand Rap Addicts, And you know, like shout out to Rap Addicts too. Rap Addicts been, you know, that's my guys. You know, he started the brand Rap Addicts and he came to me with the idea, you know, to start a podcast. And he came to me and wanted to start a podcast with me. And you know, I thought it was a great idea. I'm like, man, like, you know, shoot, I could talk. So shoot, I'll do the podcast with you. And you know, he wanted to really do it as like he wanted to add like a branch to the Rap Addicts. You know, just so that we could keep building that brand. And it made sense. It made perfect sense because at first, like when I first started doing a podcast with him, it was called Hip Hop Geeks. It wasn't called Psychotics. So you know, and Hip Hop Geeks, like the podcast that I was doing when I first started with him, was basically, you know, me doing a podcast with him, and we was doing a lot of hip hop facts, and we would go back in and talk about the history of hip hop, or you know, talk about you know, being independent artists and stuff like that. You know, like how artists can navigate through the industry, talking about a lot of stuff that I didn't been through in my life in this industry. I done seen a lot of things. I done been around big artists. I done seen a lot. I done seen it all. So you know, like I try to talk about the things that I done been through and I done seen in my life. You know, or you know, that can help people. And because at the end of the day, people just looking for information, you know. So, you know, I try to give the information out there that I got to help people. And now it just made way more sense once Psychotics came into the picture, because it's like now with the production company and everything that we're doing, we have a real avenue for people to come through and really, you know, the vision that I seen myself first doing with like helping people and artists and being able to like have a whole system in order for them, like, you know, to take themselves to the next level. Like, okay, now what I'm doing, I'm engineering, I'm creating these artist songs, I'm producing, they're hopping on my beats. I can get them to the radio station. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can get them on my platform podcast. You know, it's like I can do so much more now in the position that I am than I could before, where I was just an artist. Now I'm like, you know, artist, producer, songwriter, model, that engineer. I do it all. So it's like I do so much now where it's like to the point where I'm like, okay, when somebody needs my help, I know exactly what I could do to help them.
That's so dope. Like you're really like a helping hand for people. Did you fall into modeling by accident, or did you like really go for modeling?
I fell into it by accident.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Would
Yeah.
love to learn more about that.
Yeah, like actually shout out to Wise Guy Clothing Line. I'm really close with the owners of the company. And they reached out to me one day. It was just like, yo, man, like, you know, come try out for the show. Like, and I was like, shoot, I'll try out. Shit, I don't care. So I came and I went and I tried out, man. And then like next thing you know, I was in fashion show practice for the next 6 months. Like,
Nice.
and I was really practicing, like, you know, going to practice every Saturday, walking, being taught how to walk the runway, like, you know, watching videos. It's crazy. Like, and I'm just like, and I did my first fashion show and it actually like was successful. And I was like, okay, cool. And then after that, I started, like, I actually linked up with this agency called Mainline Models. And they actually picked me up and they had me trying out for TV shows, commercials. I was doing auditions for Netflix movies, all kind of stuff. So
That's amazing.
yeah, it was pretty fun too.
I love that. So I definitely want to be able to get into some of those records that you got. If you could play them, that would be awesome.
Yes. Let me
So we
let
can
you hear
get some exclusiveness.
Let you hear some exclusive Money Mason.
Exactly. And Money Mason, I'm
Yes,
curious.
ma'am.
Money.
Money.
Yeah, how'd that come about? I'm like,
I feel like people started calling me Money Mason like so long ago because like out of all of my friends, I was just like I've always been like a go-getter. Like I've always been like a go-getter that just was always had some type of, whether it was just I had a job or whatever I was doing, I've always been a money type of person, if it makes sense. So, you know what I'm saying? Like people it happened one day where somebody just called me like Money Mason and I was just like, yo, I like that name. Like I was like, that fit me perfect. Like I get money. Like I was kind of like, I'm like, I don't know why I kind of compared it to like a Freemason. I was like, I was kind of like free at the time. I'm like, I'm just doing me. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be Money Mason, yo. Like, and that's like
nice.
really like, that's how I became like Money Mason. Like everybody started calling me Money Mason. Like, and it just stuck with me. Like, you know, some things stick. Like, and it was one of those things that stuck. Like, I'm about to give y'all some exclusive. I'm about to plug my speakers out right now.
That's fire.
So this song right here is called Who Cares? Shout out to everybody in the comments showing love too. I see y'all.
Yes.
Julius Irving, closing the curtain. What more I gotta do to feel like I'm somewhat deserving? I ain't rich yet, but I'm still an important person. Man, my respect, cause eventually them tables turn. Not concerned with bridges burned, the lessons life give you to learn. They said it I would never grow, so tell me how I got here. They said I wasn't going up, but I still got a few stairs. I guess the only thing to figure out now is who cares? How they call themselves big fish, but can't none of them swim. Let's get intellectual, not sexual. Put them on the pedestal, show them shit they never knew, like how to bring in revenue. They tell you that they wanna build, if they get ahead of them. For real shit, be so fucked up. Trapped in my mind, trying to see signs, but lately it's no luck. Might have not wore my suit today, but I'm still right on the cusp. While being black in America, escaping them cops. I swear enough is enough. Why can't we all make this home? They say together we united, but I still feel alone. That gun go bang, it's an execution. Another black soul gone, causing world confusion. They say that we in the fight, so how we always end up losing? Killing up our brothers with these guns in the streets for looting. I'm so tired of excuses, tired that they think we useless. Time to see what the truth is. They put their hands together and clap cause we was the truest. They put their hands together and clap for the ones who knew us. They put their hands together and clapped in the back. They put their hands together and clapped for the past. Clap for the greater good, cause the evil will never last. Julius Irving, closing the curtain. What more I gotta do to feel like I'm somewhat deserving? I ain't rich yet, but I'm still an important person. Man, my respect, cause eventually them tables turn. Not concerned with bridges burning, lessons life give you to learn. They said that I would never grow, so tell me how I got here. They said I wasn't going up, but I still got a few stairs. I guess the only thing to figure out now is who cares? So I'm tired of being cold. I made it the winter time. Trying not to lose control. Just praying we don't lose our minds now. So in spite of how the heck that
This is your voice too?
living in death. I know that I still got my feet, but I hope they understand before they see us with our eyes closed. Praying we don't lose our minds now. Before they see us with our eyes closed. Praying we don't lose our minds now. Before they see us with our eyes closed. I don't wanna be forgotten cause they gotta know. I'm a legend solving problems, not just typical. Tippy toe as I go, trying to take the throne. At the top of the mountain where we all belong. Julius Irving, closing the curtain. What more I gotta do to feel like I'm somewhat deserving? I ain't rich yet, but I'm still.
That's a vibe.
That's one. So that's called Who Cares? Like I really like that song. That's on the project coming up. And then
Yeah, that's really deep. Like, I'm glad you spoke on that topic.
yeah, like that's where I was. See, like that's where I be saying, like I be trying to like really dive into like music, you know, where it's like I want people to think because like it's not just about me. You know what I mean? Like the song not just about me. It's about all the people that feel that same way. You know, like they feel like what more I got to do to be deserved. You know what I'm saying? Like what else I gotta do for people to really appreciate me and all the shit I'm doing. You know, all the stuff that I'm doing. So that's really like the message that I wanted to really give out. That song is just like, you know, no matter what, even though, you know, you don't feel like people deserve you, you're going to keep doing what you want to do and you're going to get where you want to go, whether people believe or not. You know, like that's the bottom line. Like whether people believe in what you're doing or not, if you believe in it, you're going to get where you want to go eventually, you know?
That's true. That's a fact. If it's for you, it's for you.
So I'm going to let you hear one more song. And it's like, so my project is going to be like two different vibes. Like, so one of the vibes is going to be like that kind of vibe, like where it's like, you know, more like introspective listening. Like, and then like, there's going to be like another vibe where it's like kind of more like a turn up vibe, like this. Like, this is like more the like the fun, playful vibes I'm talking about.
Got it.
So it kind of like show versatility on my project, you know what I mean?
That's dope.
That's how I keep my cool. One thing I like, oh, you have to match my shoes. I had one, but I think I want two. I gotta bring a whole crew. Bitches gonna hit, look at the ring. Bitches gonna hit,
this is the shit. They said I'm nothing like the other guys. Woke up feeling like I live a double life. I think I'm in love, this is paradise. I think I'm in love, this is paradise. She told me the topic, she said she bet you want, so I had to know. You know what was the humblest part, how the fuck did you kill your song? I'm sorry, in the meantime, let's just party. Pulling up past the party, pulled up in the jet going on. I'm sorry, and now we live to the night, can't remember. Party hard to the summer past, it's a time to ain't about think I see me another one. Taking shit across the country, girl, when we went, cause we just having fun. That's how you get it done. That's why I keep my cool. Walked in through ice like, ooh. Had to match my shoes. Had one, but I think I was two. Turned up in the whole crew. Look at it, went look at the drop. Too bad, bitches in my hip, this is the shit. They said I'm nothing like the other guys. Woke up feeling like I live a double life. I think I'm in love, this is paradise. I think I'm in love, this is paradise. You don't know. I'm so happy I did it. I was never going out like that. I'm getting more cash. See what I'm on with this. On my bank account. Wherever you want to up on the night. Keep rocking with me from the mirror. Bring the bell, think I see me another one. Taking trips out the country, we on the run. Girl, we went cause we just having fun. That's how you get it back. That's how I keep my cool. Walking through ice like ooh. New hat to match my shoes. Had one, but I think I want two. Got a been a whole crew. Too bad bitches on my hip, look at it. Too bad bitches on my hip, look at the drop. Too bad bitches on my hip, this is the shit. They said I'm nothing like the other guys. Woke up feeling like I live a double life. I think I'm in love, this is paradise. I think I'm in love, this is paradise.
So it's gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, it's two different vibes on there. Like, it's gonna be like a vibe like that where you like, yo, is that even him rapping?
Right?
Like, and then you gonna get the other vibe where it's like, is that still him? So like my project, like I want to sound like I'm going, like when you listen to my project, I'm probably gonna sound like 5 or 6 different people on my project, and it's just me. It's not no features. Like, it's not no features. Everything is all me. Like I can, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I can do whatever I want with my voice, with my music, with my sound, whatever I want to do. It's gonna just keep getting better to the point where I'm gonna just be unstoppable. So like, you know,
Yeah.
I really do feel that way. Like I just feel like I gotta keep creating my, you know, like keep working on my crafts to the point where I just can keep making songs. Like I want to make myself into like, I don't want to become a robot, but like I want to be like a machine. Like, you know, I gotta be efficient. Like, you know, like I want to be efficient.
Yeah.
So this is just second nature to me. Like, you know, I could do this so easily.
Wow, that was really dope. There was a part in the second song where you sounded like Drake a little bit. Like there was just a part where I was like, wow, that sounds a lot like Drake. Like that was really cool. Like the fact that you have control over your music, your flow, your sound, where you want to go. I think the knowledge that you have is definitely going to put you above like a lot of people when it comes to music creation.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. I
You're
do.
welcome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was a vibe. Now that's fire. I can't wait till your project comes out. Like that's really
Yeah,
exciting.
like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm excited. I'm excited for my project. Like this is the first. Like I've been excited before, but like, you know, like it's time. Like, and I've been making music for so long. I probably, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm on like year like 5 or 6. Like, you know, really making music, and I still haven't like put out a project where I would say like, you know, this is it. Like even when I dropped one project, it was called Big Goals, High Expectations. That was my
Yes.
first. That was my first project, and it was called Big Goals, High Expectations because that's exactly what I had when I dropped it. Big goals with high expectations. So you know what I'm saying. And then it didn't, you know, it didn't do as well as I thought it was. But then when I go back and listen to my songs now, not to put myself down, but I just wasn't as good as I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go back and listen to my music now, it's like I keep the music up there on my website for people to go back to and listen to. Like, you know what I mean? But I want people to see, like I want people to be able to go back and hear that and then hear what I drop now